y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Tamara. If you're new here, my channel primarily consists of beauty, a little bit of fashion, and a little bit of lifestyle. Now I have these heatless curls in my head. My glasses on too, so I feel like I literally look like I'm like 12. But today we're getting into the looks. We're getting into the makeup. I know I've mentioned in previous videos that I have picked up quite a few new makeup items. There's been a lot of sales. I don't usually buy makeup full price, so pro tip, there's so many sales at Sephora, at Ulta. They have sales all the time, so don't pay full price for your makeup. Some of these brand sites have sales as well. I've learned a lot in my 30s so far. It's only been 2 years, but these last 2 years have been like so pivotal. It's the end of the year, so I figured why not talk about the things that I've learned in my 30s up until this point and talk about some new makeup. So let's get into this video. I feel like I definitely prefer warmer lighting, so hopefully this comes across well. Ooh, this looks like it melted. I'm gonna go in and do my brows first with my Morphe gel that's basically almost out. It's just in clear. I'm not gonna film my whole eyebrow process here because I showed you guys last time and it's about the same, so it's not that interesting. I think I might have mentioned I'm actually going somewhere today, so this makeup needs to turn out, and that's why I'm doing the heatless curls, because I want to do a little razzle dazzle, but this is just so much easier to do. Just wrap it up. You're gonna see it's gonna look really good at the end. I'm gonna go in with my Milk Hydro Grip. I don't mind it so far. I know some people are not like the biggest fan of it, but to me right now it's actually better than the e.l.f. one. So I'm 32, right? I've only been 30 for 2 years. I'm gonna be 33 next year. Next year's not that far away. At the end of the year, so it's reflection time. I got this new Sigma Beauty color corrector. I feel like my other one wasn't working super well, so I just wanted to try something new. I've heard good things about this. It's in the color dark to deep. It's definitely been an interesting couple of years, but the biggest thing that I have learned, I think that worked. I would say the biggest thing that I have probably learned this year, the last couple of years, is that you gotta show up for yourself, because nobody's coming to save you. You might get like a couple check-ins, you might get like a few like, oh dang, I'm sorry you're going through that, but like no one's coming to save you, unfortunately. Everyone has their own stuff going on, so obviously it's hard to always show up for people, but it's so important to show up for yourself, because if you don't show up for yourself, I feel like that's really when things start to take like a downturn and things start to get harder. So doing little like self-care things, like I'm gonna try the dark just a little bit. I'm curious as to what it looks like. Going to like therapy, I think that's important too. Doing the work, because if you just keep in the same circle, I feel like that's not super helpful for yourself. But I am just a person. I only know so much. Sometimes when you expect or really want people to show up, they don't. And then you're left disappointed. So it's a little peely. Like I don't know what's peeling up from my skin, but I feel like it cut those dark circles down pretty well. Speaking of dark circles, it's extremely important to rest. That can tie into taking care of yourself as well. I learned the hard way that if you don't take the break that your body needs, your body will shut down on you. Got a nice little bill for not taking rest. So this is new to my collection. It's the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I've heard so many people talk about it, so I was like, I gotta get it. I got it in the color Marquise. I've actually tried it a couple of times, so this isn't my first time, but I actually really like it. It's like kind of like your skin, but better. The way that I've heard people talk about this is like it's a really advanced skin tint. I'm gonna use this brush from e.l.f. It's basically like the refined brush where Monet McMichael just like, that's actually why I got it. I was very inspired. Just blend that into the skin. It looks so good. I love it. As I've said previously, I like to do a darker foundation so that I can highlight properly. I feel like we live in this like social media, everybody's hustling culture, so it feels like taking time off is like a crime, and it's definitely not. I always feel like if I take the break that I actually need, instead of trying to power through it, I'm able to speed through it a lot more instead of like dragging through it and trying to get it done. So to me, rest is very pivotal. If you think you don't need rest, eventually your body's going to let you know. Your thing that you feel like you need to do is going to be there tomorrow too. I think I'm just going to add like a little bit more. I've done like 2 pumps so far. I want like a little bit more coverage. I usually do it on my face, but I saw someone say the other day how unsanitary it is to put the bottle to your face. So I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'll use my hand instead. The older that I get, the more I realize how important it is to like foster relationships that you care about, whether it's romantic relationships, platonic relationships, family relationships. Like everybody has their own thing going on. So in order for you to actually like maintain a relationship, you have to put the effort in. I feel like that's almost becoming like a lost art. And I know that I falter at it sometimes because like when I'm anxious, when I'm in a sour mood, when I'm irritable, the last thing I want to do is reach out to somebody and just like chat. I just like to be in my own cocoon. But I do think it's so important to foster those relationships that you do deem important, because at some point, when everyone's going through life stuff, at some point, you guys are just gonna stop communicating and then the relationship just goes in separate ways, which like maybe that's what's meant to be for you guys. But if it's somebody that you care about and it's people that you love, it's important to put the time in, check in, schedule a little dinner if you can, schedule a little vacation together if you can, because obviously in this world, our personal relationships are important to us, even if we like to try and pretend like they're not. I think I actually have a runner-up finally to the Born This Way concealer. This Natasha Denona concealer, the hy-glam concealer. I'm about to put it on and you're about to be in awe. Maybe you're not about to be in awe. I love makeup, so when I try new things, I'm in awe. Maybe you won't be in awe, but maybe you'll be like, huh, that does look really good. With fostering relationships, I think it is also important to just meet people where they are at. I feel like that's been a thing for like these last couple of years, and just like losing different friendships or losing different relationships. Like, just meet people where they're at. People will show you over and over and over again where they're at. So why try and pretend like this person hasn't shown you where they're at? This friend of yours has constantly shown you and told you where they are at. So like, don't expect all of a sudden, even though you have talked to this person like 10 times over, I've told them that this bothers me and they don't seem to be changing. That is where they are at. They have told you, they have showed you a billion times, so just meet them there and don't expect anything more, because when you expect more from others than they're actually, oh, I made a mistake. I started to do blush before concealer because I get a little heavy-handed, and I just blended up this concealer, but we're about to add blush instead. I got this new color from Juvias place. It's in the color Marigold. They had a nice little Black Friday sale, so obviously I had to pick up more liquid blushes. It's like this like coral-ish color. I saw it on a girl that's lighter than me, so I'm hoping that this actually works. If not, I have plenty of blushes that I can fix it with. With meeting people where they're at, you also have to... Oh, I feel like that just like disappeared. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. Meeting people where they're at, you also just have to understand that you can't expect yourself from other people. Like, you may do X, Y, and Z. Would think because, you know, like, I showed up for you in this capacity, I would think you would show up for me in this capacity. That's not how it works, unfortunately. That's probably one of the bigger disappointments that I have seen, learned in my 32 years of living. I'm talking so much that I feel like I don't know how this makeup is actually going to turn out. This marigold just disappears right away, so I think I actually might just add a powder, and I'm going to go back through and add some more of this concealer. I do think I can confidently say that I'm a fairly kind-hearted person. I crack a lot of jokes. I have a lot of crude humor that I know a lot of people do not like, but I can confidently say that, like, if you need me to show up for you and like help you, or even if you need me to like check in on you, it might be a little bit different these last couple of years because my mental health's just been out the door. But if you need me to show up for you or do the things for you, I'm gonna do it. And I think enough people know that I'm gonna do it, because I had this incident in particular where someone that I was friends with was having some situation with somebody, and I actually was out of town, so I wasn't able to help this person, but they knew that I was out of town. But they called me anyways, because they were like, I knew that if I called you, you would show up, because that's just who you are. Fast forward, like a couple months later, this person's like giving me the cold shoulder, treating me like ish. So just don't expect you from other people, because like, people are going to take. People are going to take. People are energy vampires. People are going to take as much as they can from you and will not put anything back. So it just folds right back into, you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't, not everybody, obviously there's some good people out there. I work with a lot of different type of people, and I've experienced a lot of different type of people, and I know that people are going to take from you. People are going to get what they can get from you, and then that's it. And then you're left there disappointed because you're like, shoot, I showed up for this person and I actually thought that we were friends, which obviously there's different levels of friendship with people as well. Like there's acquaintances, there's people that you're actually close with, people that you talk to every day. But you will almost always be disappointed expecting that what you did for others, someone will do for you. And maybe these are like learning lessons that people just like learn along the way, but also peep game. So it doesn't break your heart too much. I think your feelings are going to get hurt regardless, just like dealing with people. The more you know, right? Maybe it'll help save yourself from a little bit of heartbreak. Just a little bit. I found these new sponges from Amazon that everybody has ranted and raved about. They're these like paw ones, and they're like $7.99 for like a bunch of sponges. I think they actually soak up a lot of products. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a brighter concealer. It's my Born This Way in the color Cookie. Social situations in adulthood to me are just crazy. I have come to learn that people will treat you according to also what they think they can get out of you. Maybe it's just the way that like America's constructed, but I feel like people will very much so treat you like how much they think they can get out of you or what they think that you can do for them. Like social climber-ish. So if people don't really see like value in you, I feel like you can tell pretty quickly. Like, oh, you're schmoozing with this person right next to me because they do X, Y, and Z. Me, who I guess maybe can't get you into some of the rooms that you would like to get into, the hello is brief, or if you even get a hello. Sometimes you might just get right on by. And I feel like that's something that you just like can't really take personal because that's that person's issue. That has nothing to do with you and what you actually bring to the table. Unfortunately, people are just fickle, the word. You're very much so are trying to be elbow to elbow with people that can do something for you. I'm not really wired like that. I like to build like genuine relationships. Obviously, networking is important, but I really don't like networking. But maybe that's my problem though. Maybe I need to get more into networking. I feel like it's like semi coming together. I can't decide how I feel about this blush. I feel like I placed it a little bit low, but I feel like the face is coming together. So let's put some powder on it. We're trying out a new powder. I've tried the translucent on my channel before, but this is in the pink. I've tried the Huda pink on my channel before. I didn't quite see like why there was so much hype around it. This one, I think I get the hype. I'm about to show you. Social climbers, we see you. Don't think that we don't notice that you're with this person over here, but when you come over here, just like, hi. If we get a hi and you keep it moving. It's okay though, but we see you. I'm gonna use this puff and then I dab it out on my hand. And I'm gonna go into my eye. It just like blurs and looks like so good. It gives me like a nice little highlight. I really like it. And these last couple of years, huge lesson that I've learned. Not everybody is meant to come into the next season with you. I'm pretty sure I can get through this without like getting too emotional. Not everybody is meant to be in your life for every season. I had this conversation with my uncle recently and he just gave me a lot of perspective. Like some people are just meant to be in your life for X amount of time. Not everybody is meant to be in your life for the entirety of it. I feel like that's something that I'm still grappling with, but 30-something-year-old lessons, not everybody is going to come into the next season with you. People may have just been meant to be in the season from 10 to 19 or 19 to 30. Not everybody's meant to come into the next season with you, and that's okay. I'm going to keep telling myself that. Not everybody's meant to come into the next season with you in life, and that is okay. I guess it can just be seen as growing pains. Like, it was great to have you in my life for this period of time. It's not working for us anymore, so we're just going to keep it pushing. No bad blood. Maybe sometimes bad blood, but also I don't think everything has to be like a huge falling out. Sometimes the friendship, the relationships, the family relationships too, it's just not working for us. We're just gonna move on to the next season of our lives without each other. I feel like I'm doing a face of like completely new makeup. I don't think that I've used any of these products on my channel thus far. I think I've used them mainly on like the Clock app. Follow me on the Clock app. Same username, TAMAHHRAHH. Contouring my face next. This is from LYS. It's actually black owned. It's a nice little cream contour stick with contour. You want it to be cool. On my forehead, it never looks cool, but if I put it like right here, you can probably see it's like a little bit cooler than like when I put on bronzer. I feel like my face is really coming together right now and I really like it. With seasons, let's talk about timelines. Timelines are bullshit. I'm not really supposed to swear on this app, but timelines are BS. Like, just because you are 30 doesn't mean you have to have done X, Y, and Z. And just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it either. Timelines are BS. Like, Who made up timelines? Timelines are purely like a societal thing that people have made up over time, but who's to say you have to do X, Y, and Z by 30, by 32, by 40? Like, who's making these rules? They're made up. They're not real. Timelines are BS. And also, if you start doing things because everybody else is doing them, you can put yourself in a situation that, like, was not meant for you. And now you're in a worse situation because you're like, oh, Jack and Jill are doing this over here, and I feel like I'm so far behind, even though there's no real timeline. And so I'm going to go and do what Jack and Jill are doing over here. And lo and behold, that wasn't meant for you. And now you're in a situation where you've completely thrown yourself off course because you forced a situation that is absolutely not for you. I'm blending this out and talking a lot, but as you can see, it's like so pretty. It's like so creamy, and it like melts into your skin. And it's actually like very reasonably priced. It's like $19. You can get it at Sephora. It's black owned. LYS, I think I have it in the color Courage. I feel like 30 is such like a defining number that society has created, because when people are like, you look good for 30, what does that mean? What does 30 look like? And I don't feel like 30 should be like some defining age where like you have to have it all figured out. You need to have the relationship, you need to have the children, you need to have the house, you need to have the career, you have to have, like, you have, hopefully, God willing, you have time to figure it out. So why does 30 have to be like the defining thing? I turned 30 and I don't feel like that much has changed. I mean, I'm continuing to move forward with things, but I don't feel like I turned 30 and now I have to do bam, bam, bam. I feel like my current disappointments in life don't actually come from the fact that I'm like 32 and I feel like I need to be in this place. I just feel like it comes from like, I don't know if I'm moving in the direction that I'm supposed to be moving in. And it doesn't have anything to do with age. It doesn't have anything to do with I think I needed to be here by this time. It's just like figuring out life. And I'm sure this will come at 40, at 50, at 60, etc. So 30-somethings is just a number. Don't let society fool you and tell you that you have to have it all figured out by a certain time. Because you know. I'm going to use my Pat McGrath bronzer. This is Hide Neck and Neck with my Fenty bronzer. It's so pigmented. It's so pretty. I have this in the color Burnished Honey. Also, comparison is just like the biggest thief of joy. So if you want to be comparing yourself to Tom, Dick, and Harry, if you want to be comparing yourself to Funke, you're going to be disappointed. It's just plain and simple. If you see everybody else is doing this and you're not doing this and you're disappointed because you're not doing this, comparison is a thief of joy. You will continue to be disappointed. I mean, I'm making very like matter-of-fact points right now, but I feel like most people can agree that if you try and compare yourself to somebody else and what they're doing, you're going to be disappointed. Everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own thing that they're supposed to be doing. So try not to compare yourself to other people. If social media gets like too overwhelming because you're seeing this, log off. I feel like social media can get very toxic because it is people just showing the highlights and not what's going on in the background, which like, why would people be showing on what's going on in the background? You're seeing everybody doing all of these things and you feel like you're not matching up, just log out. It'll help. I don't know if you can tell, but like this bronzer eats. It's so pretty. Bronzer is my favorite part of the face. It brings like so much warmth and dimension back to your face. I know I've mentioned like a lot of products in the last couple of videos, so I'm thinking about doing like these are my top 3 for bronzers, foundation, etc. So look out for that in the coming future. We're about to get into these eyes. I do have a new eyeshadow palette. I said I wasn't going to get a new eyeshadow palette, but I'm going to do better. This next year I'm going to do better. I don't need this much makeup. I like having this much makeup. I like testing this much makeup, but I don't need this much makeup. So next year I'm going to do better. We're going to hold me accountable. No. I hate that I'm going to say it out loud, but yeah, we're going to hold me accountable. Next year I'm going to do better. Not as many new makeup things. Use what you have. That's the goal. I think I'm actually going to keep it pretty simple with the eye. I'm going to go in with my Artist Couture Matte Masterpiece palette. I'm going to go in with Transcend first. I think it's Aaliyah's Face that said this. She's a huge YouTuber. I can't even talk. She's a huge YouTuber on this platform. I watch a lot of her stuff. She's probably one of my fave YouTubers. But she said we have to live life as it actually is as opposed to what it should be. And I think that just like goes across so many different things. As women, we would expect that, you know, we wouldn't have to go out in fear all the time and that people wouldn't be treating us so poorly and all of these things. But as we continue to see time and time again, that's not the case. Or even if we talk about the treatment of people in general, like even if you're kind to somebody, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get kindness back, unfortunately. I just think it's important to just live life realistically at this point. Just because you extend kindness to somebody, it doesn't mean you're going to get kindness back. Just because you hope that you can go out into the world and not have to have your guard up all the time, that's not the reality of the world right now. So unfortunately, instead of living life like, oh, this is what should be happening, we probably just have to live in reality, because unfortunately this is where we're at as a society. Got the little Moon Dust palette. I tried the Makeup by Mario Ethereal palette. It's not really like brown skin girl friendly, so I still wanted to try the ethereal look. I've heard amazing things about Moon Dust. 4 of these are like $39. I think one of them is maybe like 19 or 20 something, so made sense to me to just try out this whole thing. There's like 2 colors in here that I for sure really like, and there's one that's like so-so. I'm gonna go with Space Cowboy. That's one that was going viral. I hope it's gonna work out for me. Use my finger. Someone online told me to not swipe it, but to dab it. It's like this super pretty like shimmer that you can just add over like any shadow. Like I just drag the shadow down into my eyelid, and it's just supposed to add like a little bit to your look, just a little bit extra. You add more, it definitely looks better. I'm gonna try a brush on the other side and see if it pays off a little bit better. This is what it looks like on this side right now. In my ventures of working people, or really just like being around people, you know when you ask that random question to that person and all of a sudden you get like such an intense reaction, even though you ask them like, oh, do you actually like apples over oranges? And now you're getting yelled at. Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with you. That has everything to do with whatever it is that they are dealing with in their personal life. I don't know if this is coming across as well on camera, but it's like so pretty. I do unfortunately have glitter all over my makeup now, but that's okay. That's why you do eyes before you do the rest of your face. But I like to do the opposite way, so it's fine. I was going to try and line my eyes on camera, but I can't do that, so I will be right back. I'm gonna put on some lashes. These are from Lily Lashes. Lily Lashes are my favorite. This is in the style Blushing. It's like everyday lashes, everyday foaming, whatever that means. I've worked with a lot of people, been around a lot of people. A lot of these like adverse reactions people have to something that you're saying. I've had my bullets myself, I can admit that, where really nothing in this moment has anything to do with you, but things have been brewing all week. Things have been irritating all week. I haven't dealt with what I needed to deal with, and now in this moment you are here and you're gonna get the wrath of what I've been feeling. And I've experienced this enough to know like it has nothing to do with you. It's really hard to not take it personal, and I'm still working through talking and mascaraing. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. Still working really hard on like not taking it personal and knowing that it has like nothing to do with me, but that's also an important thing as well. When people have those moments with you where like you're looking around like, what is it that I just did that was so offensive or made this person go off on me so much? It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that they have something going on with their life that they are absolutely not dealing with, and instead of dealing with it with a therapist, within themselves, you're catching those strays. I feel like this is just how we are as humans. Unfortunately, some people are really going to put in the effort to do the work, and some people are just gonna explode on you. Just do the best that you can to not take it personal, which I myself know is like extremely difficult because I have stomached quite a few of those things. And it's not an easy pill to swallow. We're almost all done with the face. My lashes are on. If you're wondering why one side looks higher than the other, I have ptosis. I think I talked about that previously. This eyelid is smaller than this eyelid. And when I'm tired, which I'm tired all the time lately, this starts to here and then this looks here. It's very irritating. I feel like the older that I've gotten, the harder it is for it to even out, but it is what it is. You can take me flaws and all. I'm gonna go in with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish and just wipe all this like powder and everything else off. Oh wait, I think I want to put on more blush. I'm gonna do that first. This place is becoming like a favorite on this channel. This is in the color Volume 5. It's just like this like hot pink and this little lighter pink. I think I'm gonna use this lighter pink because I think it's like the same as the liquid blush that I just used. A little bit goes a very long way, so do be careful with the pigment on this. I feel like I've talked a lot about just like interpersonal relationships today. Whew, that is pigmented. That's okay. How did this happen? We are just taking a turn all of a sudden. I'm not here for it. I feel like it looks more intense on camera than it does in my mirror. In my mirror, it looks like subtle. On camera, it looks like, girl, why do you have so much makeup on? We're gonna go back in with the finishing and just clean this up a little bit. I feel like I talked a lot about like interpersonal relationships during this whole things that I've learned. I feel like that's been like a very pivotal part of my 30s, is just like navigating different relationships with people. Like, I'm a very happy-go-lucky, or I used to be. Not as happy-go-lucky as I used to be. I can openly admit that. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky individual. Like, nothing's that serious to me. Life isn't that serious to me. Like, more so of like a let's just have fun and just do the things that we enjoy. But I feel like in the last like year, interpersonal relationships have been like a heavy subject, a real heavy subject. I might go back through and add just like a little bit more bronzer, because I feel like my makeup is coming off a little bit light. If you feel like your makeup is coming off a little bit light, bronze. Keep bronzing. Not me opening a brand new product and the whole thing fell out of the bottom. Juvia's Place. What is up with that? I have this in the color Scorpio. It's like a nice little plum. I have this lip idea. Hopefully it works out. I think that's pretty. My lining is so out of control right now because of the fact that it's broken. I actually like this. I need for them to send me one that's not broken though. I'm gonna go in with my Huda lipstick in the color Girls Trip. I like this. I had this vision in my mind of what my lip combo would look like. And when you see it come to fruition, it's giving a little 90s. It's giving a little 90s, but I like it. Tell me this isn't pretty. Tell you, you can't. You can't. You can't. That's right. You can't. Sorry. So makeup is basically done. It's coming off of my nose just a little bit, so I'm going to go back in with my finishing powder. Relationship with yourself is just as important as any of these other things that I mentioned. It's so important to do things that make you happy. That's a huge thing that I always talk about with my therapist. Let me spray it on my face really quick. Ooh, we're switching it up with the MAC Fix Plus. I may have used this before. I don't really remember. I'm going back and forth between the Fix Plus and the Urban Decay. I don't think anything's beating on my Urban Decay, but I actually do like this quite a bit. Like I was saying, it's super important to do things that you enjoy to help sustain yourself. Me and my therapist always talk about like you gotta plan something to make sure that you have something to look forward to. Otherwise, like I always feel like I'm just like here. And what I mean by I just feel like I'm just like here. I just feel like there's nothing to really look forward to if I don't plan something. So another big thing that I've learned in my 30s is how important it is to plan things that will sustain you, things that make you happy, because like I said, no one's coming to save you. So like you gotta find ways to sustain yourself. Otherwise life just gets so hard. Otherwise, life just gets like so hard. There's so many things happening in the world, so many things happening day to day. It's so important to find things to sustain yourself. It's still a process that I'm working on. I found things for like the most part. Love travel. Travel is a huge thing that helps sustain me. I obviously can't travel all the time, so I'm trying to find more things day to day in the state of Minnesota to help sustain myself. All right, we're gonna make this like a semi-full get ready with me, so I'm gonna change my outfit and I will be right back. I got this bodysuit from Amazon. I've heard great things about Pumi, I think is the word. It's basically like a dupe for Skims. I really like the JLux label like cotton ones, and I was like, okay, well this will be like a nice cheaper alternative, but this is like slinky. I don't like slinky bodysuits, but it kind of is what it is. That's what I get for giving into the hype. The makeup is a lot brighter than I would like it to be, but I think with more time it's gonna settle. Let's take out these rope curls. I know you've all been anticipating this moment. Maybe not, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways. I already like slicked down my edges. Hopefully they're still aging. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it comes with like these two like silk things, and then it's like this rod thing, and you just pull and boom. It's so much easier than having to curl your hair, and now you have these like cute curls. I'm gonna put on my earrings and show you guys my fragrance, and I'm probably gonna show you my full outfit. I think I like how my makeup came out. I didn't talk a lot about my actual makeup. I talked more about life and all of those things. So formatting it a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna list everything that I used down below. She's looking grown. It's giving grown. It's giving 30 plus. this color on me. I just don't like the material in this. I'm gonna use my Valentino perfume. I'm going for Grown Woman, like a fruity vanilla type thing. I don't know. If I looked it up, I'd probably be able to give you a more accurate depiction. For the final look, I will put the makeup descriptors all down below. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I know I hit on some heavier topics today. I usually like to keep it like pretty like light and like been an interesting couple of years. It's the end of the year. It's December, so lots of reflection happening in this brain. Always thinking of ways that I can improve myself as a person and thinking about how I can show up as a better human being, accepting my flaws and trying to grow from them as much as I can. Even if some people aren't joining us on the journey, that's okay. Shade, maybe a little bit. Thanks so much for watching. Comment below and let me know what you think about this makeup. Comment down below and let me know some of the things that you have learned in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We're all here to continue growing as much as we can for the most part. So I wish you the best luck on your journey, and we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Take care of yourself. Make sure to do things that you enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. We are on the road to 500. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.